ਸਸਕੁਐਸ਼ਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਫ੍ਰਾਂਕੋਇਜ਼ ਫਿਲਿਪ ਸ਼ੈਂਪੇਨ ਅਤੇ ਮੈਰੀ ਕਲੋਡ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਸਸਕੁਐਸ਼ਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੈਨਸਨ ਪੋਟਾਸ਼ ਖਾਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਧੀ ਹੋਈ ਸਥਿਰਤਾ ਅਤੇ ਰੁਜ਼ਗਾਰ ਸਿਰਜਣ ਦਾ ਸਮਰਥਨ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ BHP ਨਾਲ ਸਾਂਝੇਦਾਰੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਨਿਵੇਸ਼ ਦਾ ਐਲਾਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਮਾਈਕ ਹੈਨਰੀ ਵੀ ਸ਼ਾਮਿਲ ਰਹੇ।
And as we discussed this morning with Mike, the future looks bright for Canada in the plans of BHP. So I'll let him to tell you more about that. But as we're looking at food security and potash, obviously, Canada comes to mind, and we're delighted to have you with us, obviously, Mike, and to welcome you again in Canada. Caroline, thank you for all the work you've been doing. You've been introduced already, but I want to acknowledge, the record time in which we did the agreement principle, I should say, is largely thanks to you and your team. But there's really one of the BHP executive that I want to really acknowledge who made all this possible is Ragnar Odd. Ragnar, I would want to say thank you in front of all the Canadian news, to say thank you for taking my text message at every time of the day and night, because I appreciate your base, not always in the same time zone than me. Our first text message was on August 1st, 2021, when we started to text to each other. But beyond that, I want to say thank you for your leadership. And certainly thank you for the great vision that we built together of building the cleanest potash mine in the world right here in rural Saskatchewan. And I think we have everything to be very proud of. Your vision in action is what really made us here today. We know your company has a strong footprint here in Saskatchewan, with more than 600 employees at the mine. And I realized this morning, Mike, perhaps 200 people, 250 here in Saskatoon. And we're certainly looking forward to building on that for an even brighter future for BHP in Canada. And it won't be a surprise to anyone that I have other phases in mind when I say that, but certainly we are on good track with phase one, and we've already seen a number of benefits. So let me acknowledge first my dear colleague, Minister Bibeau, the Canadian Minister of Agriculture and Agri-Food, which is with me today. Marie-Claude is not only a colleague, she's a friend. But beyond that, she's been a true ally and supporter at every step of the way. If we are here today, it's because Marie-Claude and her team have made us make sure that we understand the importance of ag in our economy, the agriculture, food security. And I would want to say one person who understands beyond everyone else how critically is important to increase our potash production to deal with food security in the world is really you. Also, as a former Minister of International Development, really pleased that you could be with us this morning, Marie-Claude. It's a great testament of our joint approach in bringing not only good projects, but projects which are meaningful to the world. Minister Vandal would have liked to be with us. I said that to Mike and the leadership team of BHP. Minister Vandal is our Federal Minister of Northern Affairs. Would have liked to be with us. He's also the minister responsible for the economic development in the prairies. But obviously, some of us have to be here, but some of us to be in Parliament, as this is one of the last week of Parliament sitting. So despite the fact that he wished to be with us, he had to be in Ottawa to make sure that we can continue the business of government and be able to continue to support you, Mike, and the whole team in various projects. I also want to acknowledge Brad Redekop, which is the member for Saskatoon West. I talked to him on Friday. I know he would have liked to be with us this morning, but again, some of us have to be in Parliament. And Charlie Clark, I see him there. Charlie Clark, a friend, a mayor, obviously a great leader, but someone you can always count on. And I can say, Charlie, your presence this morning and talking to the leadership of BHP, making them understand that they are most welcome here in Saskatoon and obviously in Saskatchewan, is going to play a big part in the plans of BHP. So I want to acknowledge your leadership, my friend. Always good to see you and to be having you join the discussion